Hi, I hope you have had a great time and a good start to the new year. It's been about a week, which means that today it is a shop update. It is the first Friday of January. I don't have like a proper video. I don't know what a proper video is because I guess this is a video. I just wanted to show you a few things, so think of this more as information or an ad than a video. But I just wanted to show the product a little bit better. I have two new metallic watercolors coming, and it's really hard to photograph them to really show up how they look in a photo. So I thought I was just going to show you that. And then also, just before Christmas, I added this to the shop. It's a brush case with 10 brushes, and I thought I was just going to go through it a little bit because I haven't actually talked about it. It is a proper mess because I'm hardly ever in here anymore, and when I am, I just do the thing and then I head out. Anyway, the brushes, it's a set of 10, and it is wood handles with nylon or synthetic brush. The only thing, these two have bamboo handles. They're really nice actually. So those are up in the shop, and as you can see, you get 3 quill brushes and then just a standard round. You have an angle, a filbert, a mop and a sword. I'm going to use the number 0 quill brush today because I like it. I'm going to use this paper. It's not watercolor paper. I want to have one black. You might remember me talking about this paper pad, and these two I just picked up yesterday, so I have 2 more because I have no self-control. And white one, yes. Now this is very bright white. I mean, you can see like traditional watercolor is more like this warm white, and this is cool white. But I wanted to give like a fair, like how they really look. Okay. I'm going to bring them out of my working palette here. Here you can see the full set that is for January. I wanted to go with all the glitter and glam that I possibly could. And we have Merida, has been here before. Arsenic is from the Agatha set. Estelle has been before, and then Cat Gold. So the only difference with Felix Felicis, I decided to change out. So in Felix Felicis, I decided to do a swirl instead of mixing the interference pigments and the gold. And I just love how that looks. But those are all the same. Now, for Frank, in the vlog 139, I mixed 88 metallic pearlescent shimmery glittery pigments, and this is what came out. And I thought I was going to show you how it looks. First off, I wanted to show you how it looks. And before I wipe down the slab, I like to spray it with water and then press a watercolor paper on top of it. And this is how it looks. I really love how it looks, but I thought it might give you a better view of the color. So I would say the main difference, Frank last year and this one, is that the color is cooler. We have more of a blue undertone, and we don't have as much of that gold specks, partly because I had just run out of gold making cat gold for this month, and there's a lot of pearlescent interference pigments, and it's just so beautiful. And also a lot of different shapes or different sizes, and I think I did use those sort of interference flakes, not just the pigments but flakes too, and that's what's on top here. You have those flakes, but when I started to mold it into the paint, they sort of broke down, obviously, but they weren't as fine as the actual pigment, so you still get those specks in the paint, and I just find that amazing. So I have that example. So I thought I was going to show you how it looks on white paper and a mid-tone, so craft paper, and then a black paper. And I'm going to use the paint I already have here. And I'm just going to, you can see I've used it a little bit, going to add some water here. I'm actually just going to leave that to work a little bit because I don't want to mess with my brushes too much if I don't have to. The other color I want to show you is this one, that is Via Lactea. That is the one we mixed all the stars with. This is how it looks in the pan. This one has a magnet in it, but it just looks white. It looks like it has a little bit of sparkle in different colors, but it just looks like a traditional pearlescent white color. So I want to show you that on these papers too. So let's start off with Frank here. Just coasting about. I'm really sorry about the radiator. It's quite cold up here in Sweden right now, so. And I don't know if you can see there are white specks floating about in it. That is actually one of the pigments, so don't be alarmed if there's white specks, because that is part of the paint. I will show you this also when it's dry, obviously. So that's how it looks on white paper, going onto the craft, onto the black. And as you can see, it appears a little bit warmer on the black, but you can really see the shimmer. I have used Frank. I don't know what's up with the dogs today. I've used Frank, the last one, quite a lot, but this one just is something different with it. With Via Lactea, so all of the different star pigments combined together. Obviously, when you have all the stars, that is the galaxy, and the galaxy Via Lactea in Latin. So I'm going to do here on the white. From my direction, it looks very sparkly in different colors. From your direction, maybe not so much. Let's see how it looks on the craft paper. Quite silvery, but again, we don't have a mass tone. It looks white because of the reflection. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, you can definitely tell there's more color specks in it than on the white one. And on the black, in the mass tone, it looks almost silvery white. And then the more I sort of let the particle be alone here, you can definitely see all of the colors. Fingers crossed that when I pick up my phone here to record it from the side, it will look how it looks for me. Now they're still wet, so we have the Frank up here. Just going to tilt it a little bit so you can get that sort of reflection. So that is Frank up here. And when I do that, you can see a few of those white specks. There's a white glitter. And then down here, we have the Via Lactea. And again, this is still wet, so keep that in mind. And on the black, you can see all of those different colors. So I think this looks quite amazing, and I just love it. So while this is drying, I thought I was going to just do a quick little painting together with you, just because I think it's so much fun. So I'm going to use the quill again because I just really like it, and going to use more of these colors. I don't want to ruin those, so I think I want to use Felix. I think I want to use Merida. So, okay, moving those aside here, so I'm not going to use those, I'm going to use these. I'm just going to put some water here. I know that usually when you see videos about people testing watercolors, they go straight in to see how quickly they re-wet, and that is obviously a good point, but metallic colors usually take a little bit longer to re-wet, and I don't really see the point in ruining your brushes to prove that. We know it takes longer, so letting it just sit for a few seconds extra really saves the longevity of your brushes. So I just want to make some flowers. I'm going to make some little center of the flower, just doing little dots really, like that, rinsing it off in my second jar of water. I'm really bad at that. Like, I don't know how many years I've been doing watercolor. I've had 2 jars and I can just never do it. But yeah, So I'm going into franc here with my point, and then going to lay it on its belly here to form the petal. And doing loose flowers, I always try to remember that I don't need to fill out everything. There is allowed to be white space, or in this case black space, that really creates a dimension and depth. But I have a hard time leaving these kind of spaces. I want to fill it all out because, you know, as a kid when you colored in school, you weren't finished until it was all colored in, you know. And I think some of that just stuck real hard in me. Merida has a dark blue undertone. If I'm just going to take this little paper right here, I'm going to be up here in the corner. So you can see it has that blue navy undertone with the green shimmer. Now on the black paper, we're just going to see that tealy blue greeny shimmer because the blue won't show up because it's transparent. Not really sure about how their leaves look, but it doesn't have to be that perfect. I just do it because I enjoy like how I'm holding the brush doing these flowers. And you're allowed to paint stuff based on how it feels in your hand doing it. For a long time I felt like painting was just, you do it right, you do it proper, and you do it to achieve something, the end result. And the more I've been doing it, the more I realized that painting for me is just making me feel good. And if I feel good painting more with the pressure of the brush or dipping color into wet or whatever it could be, and I can do that just because I like it. Then obviously the more you do this kind of stuff, the more you learn the technique and you know how to use it for other things too. On this flower I deliberately went into the gold here so that it would run, and we can do that here too. I do really like how that looks, especially when we have it so wet. And as this is just drawing paper or very flat paper, I don't have any grain really in it, so the color can really, it just sits on it. It doesn't fall into any pits or bumps in the paper. Again, using Merida here to do some form of stem. Starting off just almost holding the brush completely upright, and then using the belly to create thinner or thicker lines depending on where I am. But like I said, I'm not I'm not completely sure about the flower type, but I'm guessing it's some form of fantasy creation, just for fun. And I guess you can or have heard the dogs in the background. I also have, of course, Albert next to my feet here. He's not too fussed about being outside right now. It's quite dark, it's really cold, it's been snowing all day, and it's the kind of snow where it's like the prettiest version of snow. When it's so cold, it really comes down where you can see the individual snowflakes, the crystals. It's beautiful, but it's really cold. And it's getting really icy on the roads because it was quite wet this morning. So it's colder during the day. And this evening, me and my sister were going to a knit cafe, which means I will drive into town to pick her up. And driving in this weather is not like something I'm like super keen on. I don't think there will be any issues. I'm quite used to driving in bad weather, but it's still something that you're like, rather not. But I think it will be really fun. Testing out a new knit cafe, or new to us, I should say. We haven't been there before. Just going to fill in a little bit behind it so it looks like this flower is behind the leaf. And I feel like this one has almost the same line as this one. And we can fill out this place with a leaf maybe, like so. So yeah, so today I have been it's just been a lot of computer work today, which is honestly the least favorite part of what I do, but it also is one of those things you have to. But I'm really looking forward tomorrow for the shop update, that is today when you're watching, because that means I can start working on practical things, you know. So yeah, and I'm thinking we should add in some tiny flowers about, so I'm just going to add in a little bit of this Via Lactea, and I'm going to create one sort of behind over there, and sort of I really like doing that, so you can get some back and some of them in front. That was a really quick and easy, just some metallic watercolors on black paper. I think is really fun, and don't forget that you can mix them. I didn't do that this time because I just wanted to showcase the colors I have here, and I just want to show you if I have it like this, but if I tilt it maybe, you can see those white specks from the white glitter, which I find fascinating. So yeah, that is how Frank, Felix Felicis, Merida and Via Lactea looks when you just do a little quick painting. Now, this painting, I think, honestly, I might just fold in double and have as a birthday card coming up. But yeah, a final look at the colors here. So on the top here, we have Frank, the second edition. You can see the white glitter here. A really nice, cool, dirty silver almost. And then underneath we have Via Lactea, which is the mix of all of those duochrome or interference pigments mixed together. And I think you can see it most closely here on the black one, with all of those different colors showing up. So I really hope you have enjoyed this really quick video, that you got to see the 2 new colors a little bit more up close. Hopefully you followed along and made a little quick flower painting. I think it's really fun. But yeah, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.